Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Martina. In today's video, we are going to be talking about ending my 6-year relationship and dealing with heartbreak. It's so funny because after I gave you guys options of videos you wanted me to film, when I noticed most people wanted this video, I I was like, what am I thinking? What was I thinking? Why did I put this video up? But it's alright, we'll talk about it. So like when I was in China, there was a particular time that I noticed so many people that were in long-term relationships while in China were getting married. Like it was just this particular period, just noticed once people graduate or like go home for internship, you just noticed one person has gotten married and not to the person that they were dating. So it was just a lot, and I went to Instagram and I was like, what is happening? What is it about relationships in China that you stay together throughout while you're in the same country, and then all of a sudden when you just split, one person just moves on and gets married, and like I'm like, so what has been happening during the years that you were together? And this bothered me because I was also in a long-term relationship, so I really wanted to know. But at that point I answered myself, because first of all I was like, China is not a, how do I put it, it's not a forever country. It's not a place that people move to and stay there. So when you go to China, you see people from different countries all coming to China for different purposes. But about 90% of those of us that go to China don't end up staying there. You end up leaving and moving back home or back to other countries. So it was not a place like, let's say, if someone says, oh, I'm moving to the UK, I'm moving to the US. These are places that even after schooling, you can decide to stay there and start a life there. So it's not like that for China. Most of us just end up leaving. So I came to the conclusion that, when you come here and you start a relationship with someone, and after being together for a number of years, it's time to go back home. It's time to it's time to move on to other things. And now you are going back to Nigeria, your boyfriend is going back to Zimbabwe, for example. And so it's like, okay, how do we make it work? Everybody's struggling to do long distance after being together for a number of years. But for me, that was my conclusion. Just felt like, since everybody was going to leave at the end of the day, most people are just here for like short-term relationships, keep each other company, and when it's time to get out, everybody just moves on. Although there are still people that still ended up getting married, even though they are from different countries. But I've seen, I think, 2 couples that actually like put in the work to make the relationship get to marriage even after leaving China. So that's really good. Anyways, for my own relationship, let me share a little bit. So for me, it was more about okay, how do I even start it? Okay, so I got into my relationship in my first year of being in China. So like maybe like 3 months after I got to China, that's when the relationship started. So we're both quite young. I was, I think, 18 and he was 21 or 22. I don't remember so well. But like, we're young, so we had the chance to like, grow up together, get to know each other together, try to like mold our lives together and like be on the same path, like building your lives together, those things like so when we finish, we are going to do this and we are going to do this together. Everything was just planned and we're to do things together. But along the line, there were some issues that we started having, and for me personally, I would say because I was in China, I was far from home and I didn't have a lot of friends. It's something that I've mentioned in my video so many times. When I was in China, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have an active social life. So it was just school that was my main focus. So when we started having issues, it was not so easy for me to just get up one day and say, oh, I'm going to leave, or oh, I'm going to end the relationship here, because I was still in China. I had nobody to turn to, or I didn't have a lot of people to turn to. I didn't know myself outside of the relationship. So it was like, I felt like, where am I running to? Where am I going to? Because last we are still in the same country. We're going to see each other very often. So a lot of our issues, especially on my part, I would say, was surrounded around, we are still in the same country. So why end it here? I felt like I did not really have a life outside the relationship. And that's a lesson I've learned now, and that's something that I would not allow happen again. But I didn't know how to get out of that space. So a lot of times I, stayed, I continued in the relationship. Even got to a point, mentally, I knew the relationship was over. I knew that if I get to this point, the relationship will end. But I was still having the mentality of, so what am I going to do? And honestly, it's not like I was interested in dating anybody else. No, I just didn't want to be alone. Yes, I just didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to be lonely. So instead, I found a way to make myself enjoy, the good parts of the relationship while it lasted, enjoy the benefits, the company. Because to be honest, we had a very good relationship. We had an amazing relationship, but the issues we had were also issues that would end the relationship, and I just decided to stay because of company, and I didn't want to be lonely. So I think before I graduated, like end of 2020, at that point, I just got to a point, I figured out something. We had another very big issue, and that day, I just told him, this relationship is over. Whether I stay in it physically or I don't, this relationship is over. It is not going to continue from here. I mean, you can still hang around, you can still be there, but I'm just telling you so that you will know that from here henceforth, this relationship is over. Like, I cannot do it again. And I had not graduated then. I still had like a couple of weeks to graduation, because it was like end of December, or even days to graduation. So at that point, I started changing my life plan. we had already made so many plans together. I started changing, looking for backup plans. What could I do? How will I separate myself from this person? Because now, company was not something that I wanted. I was not looking for. I didn't care about feeling lonely anymore. I was ready to move on and move on with my life. So I was to go to, after graduation, I didn't even waste time. It was so hard to get flight tickets. I think I was the first or the second person in my class to leave China. I wanted out immediately, and every single moment I was searching for flight tickets to leave that country every moment. And the distance was very good for me. The fact that I physically took myself out of China, out of the relationship, was very good for me. That was the first step to helping me deal with everything, because it was really a long-term relationship. And the fact that I was able to leave the country, leave where he was, just really helped me. It was a difficult decision, but I knew I needed it. And I was not even sure I needed it until after I left. I realized how important it was for me to have left China. We had plans to move to another country together. And to be honest, it was hard for me to start writing up my plans all over again by myself. But I decided I was not going to move to that country again with him. I cancelled my plans. I was starting afresh. My initial plan was not to like stay back in Nigeria, but I was like, I would rather stay here and sit down and re-strategize my life than to just move. And it's just like these moments when something is not good for you, someone is not good for you, regardless of how you feel, regardless of love or emotions, but that this person, this relationship is not good for you. So that was just how it was. So being in China, I was able to endure and just be comfortable, but I knew I wanted out. I knew deep in my heart that this is not what I want for myself. So that was just like a summary of what happened. So dealing with it, being away, physically away, that was the biggest part of it for me, being physically away. I lost a lot by leaving the relationship. I lost a lot because, like I said, I had built my life around it. So businesses, connections, friends, everything was just surrounding the relationship. So for me to leave it, I had to choose leaving some business opportunities. I had to choose losing some connections. I had to choose losing money. It was something I needed to do. So starting afresh was difficult, and honestly, I would not lie I would be lying if I said there were not times I felt like I wanted to go back, because starting afresh was so difficult. But I write, so I go to my book and I write how I feel, I write how I felt, and I write that I don't want to go back to where I was. So every time I felt that way, I would always write. I would write. Take out some time, just think to myself and think of where I'm coming from. And I'm like, deep in my heart, I don't want that. But as a human being, I just miss familiarity. I was scared of starting all over again, like getting to know someone all over again. I was just so scared, and I just wanted familiarity. So writing is something that helps me even till date. I still pick up my book, I write my emotions, and it's something that really helps me. Am I where I want to be? Not yet, but I'm still in the process of, getting to know myself, and loving myself the way that I want to be loved. And it has just been like a whole new experience, a different experience, which I really, really love. And day by day, I'm just dealing with it. Day by day. I take it one day at a time. That's my motto now, one day at a time. So I deal with every day as it comes. Every day that I'm successfully happy, I'm successfully choosing to be happy, loving myself, doing what's best for me. I take it and I move to the next day and I do the same thing all over again. So that's just how I have been dealing with it, but I'm great now. Like, I remember when I came back to Nigeria, after being here for a couple of months, I got some compliments from some people saying that, oh, I look better in Nigeria, that Nigeria suits me. And this is something that, when most people leave Nigeria, they move abroad, that is when their real glow starts to show. But I got compliments from like a number of people telling me that ever since I came back to Nigeria, I have been glowing. I have been looking like I am more happy, which is actually true, because in China I was just so sad. I mean, forget me now, I've lost a lot of weight because of work, but I'll gain the weight back once I'm done working. But yeah, that's it for me. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section. Anything you have to say. But that's all for this video. I will see you guys in my next video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. And bye-bye.